For generations, we have been told that the universe is a cold, mechanical machine. In this model, the cosmos is an empty, silent void, dotted with lifeless rocks tethered together by gravity. Under this strictly physical framework, systems like astrology are easily dismissed. If the sky is only dead matter, then reading the positions of planets is written off as a misunderstanding of literal rocks. But there is a crack in this mechanical model. When physicists attempt to measure the farthest edges and the expansion of reality, the physical map stops working. This is the Hubble Space Telescope, a primary tool we use to measure the universe. Yet data from our best observational tools creates the Hubble tension. Measurements of the early and late universe contradict each other. The numbers simply do not reconcile. When the dominant scientific map fails to agree with itself at the edges of measurement, it suggests the territory is behaving differently than the model expects. We need an entirely different kind of cartography. An alternative framework exists across countless ancient traditions, often referred to as the cosmic egg. The central rule of this model is that the universe is a living interface, not an empty stage. The bodies moving overhead are not viewed as physical masses of dirt and gas. Instead, they are defined as luminaries. In this system, planets function as luminous nodes, hubs of light and energy, rather than gravity-bound matter. If the sky is a structured interface of bright nodes, rather than a random collection of rocks, we have to ask what exact functions these luminaries are performing in the heavens. This Egyptian celestial relief from Dendera tracks seasons and star positions, but look at the density of the symbols. Without modern technical vocabulary, ancient cultures used these mythic figures, moving in sequence, as a high-density storage format, encoding complex routing instructions across a system boundary. Reading these maps correctly means we have to stop treating the mythic characters as literal biographies. We have to translate them back into active system instructions. Under this framework, orbits are not physical tracks carved by gravity. They are active channels of information flowing across a celestial membrane. This shifts the study of astrology from simple fortune-telling into the observation of a high-precision cosmic routing network. The figures mapping this network, the ancient gods, were functional job titles within an organizational chart. Consider the Egyptian figure of Thoth, often synchronized with the Roman Mercury. When we translate the symbol of the scribe, we find a specific office. This role represents the routing of memory, the keeping of records, and the processing of messages across the cosmic interface. Farther out in the system, we find Saturn. It occupies a radically different functional node at the absolute edge of the visible network. The symbol of Saturn functions as the ultimate boundary protocol. It operates as the auditor, the timekeeper, and the hard limit of the active interface. Viewing planets as functional offices gives us a new mechanism for reading the sky. It becomes an active operating system rather than a mythological storybook. The luminaries do not travel through a blank void. The areas they pass through, what we call astrological houses or constellations, serve a specific structural purpose. These celestial zones act as gates. They are transition layers that regulate how cosmic energy flows inward toward the center. As a luminary interacts with these gates, the system sorts, filters, and permits only specific bandwidths of information to pass through the threshold. Astrological cycles are mapping this exact mechanical process. They track when specific cosmic bandwidths are open, when they are restricted, and how they are actively routed through the system. Why does the universe require this elaborate architecture of routing, filtering, and gating in the first place? The macrocosm poses a severe threat. Raw, infinite cosmic order carries far too much data. It is entirely overwhelming and too complex for any local observer to interact with directly. The luminaries and the nested celestial shells act as a massive translation layer. Their exact purpose is to step down this intense signal, to protect the observer. The same filtering logic applies to the individual observer. Just as the celestial shells step down infinite signal, the human nervous system acts as a final checkpoint, mirroring this architecture by compressing raw data into the narrow bandwidth we call experience. The cosmic egg is ultimately an observer safety system.
It processes infinite reality and steps it down into a finite, survivable world. Through this lens, the sky functions as a luminous, active organizational chart.
When looking at ancient cosmologies moving forward, do not look for literal rocks or magic. Look at the symbol and ask what instruction it carries. Ask what functional office is being performed by that luminary at the edge of the map. Decoding these job titles reveals the true mechanism of the interface. It shows exactly how cosmic light is actively routed to safely construct your daily experience.